Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to go over some interesting bits of news as well as what's going on with the market. It seems like we are entering some more consolidation, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, we're going to go over my normal schedule, which is Nano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisigo, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA, all of those in a more detailed technical analysis in that order on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities or five high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio, you can find both of those things in my premium content, and I'll have a link to that in the description of this video. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. And let's get right into what's going on with the general market. So what we're seeing now is a lot of cryptocurrencies starting to consolidate, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can see that they're very flat over the past 24 hours. There are some pretty nice movers. Bitcoin Cash up 22%, no real news, but it is interesting because now that we look at it, as far as the price or even market cap, we're not that far away from Ripple, Ethereum, and even Bitcoin when you really think about it. So definitely would keep an eye on Bitcoin Cash and make sure and see if it's going to make a move or not. But I could see that happening. Lisk is a cryptocurrency that has been holding up very well compared to others at around $23 and up about 20%. So not bad at all. And Quantum, I know that a lot of you like this cryptocurrency, doing well here today. Now back to $30. And yeah, I mean, it definitely took a bit of a hit. It's now bouncing, so we'll see if it can manage to maybe get out of the downtrend or something like that. Ethereum Classic, wanted to mention this one because it has been spiking here and there recently. So definitely have to pay attention if this one is going to make a move as well. But let's go over some pieces of news here. And the first is that Litecoin had a bit of an upgrade here. So they are lowering transaction fees. And that's a great step in the right direction. I mean, you can see people talking about it here. But this is not even the final update, right? So this is the direction that Litecoin has to move in. And it looks like Litecoin is really making some good moves here, to be honest. So they also have LitePay that they're working on, and all those things combined are definitely pushing Litecoin in the direction that it needs to be in if it wants to be sort of the cryptocurrency of choice for transactions. The city of Taipei confirmed that it's testing IOTA for ID, and IOTA, same thing. They are making some pretty big partnerships. They have been, and they're continuing to do so. So definitely something to pay attention to there, and good for IOTA. Now, Binance has gone through a little bit of drama here as McAfee and I guess others were accusing it of being hacked. It apparently went down a bit, having some server issues. I think they're going to try to relaunch on February 9th, so we'll see how that works out. But definitely having a bit of issues. Hopefully they'll be back up and running normally soon enough, though. So apparently no hack. That was just some FUD. Really, it's more like some upgrades that need to be done. And finally, Bitcoin Cash, like I mentioned, is kind of out of nowhere spiking. So it actually outpaced a lot of other cryptocurrencies, as you can see, over the past 24 hours, and quite a bit. So it's interesting to see how this might play out. Is it going to continue to outpace the other cryptocurrencies? If it does, it could really climb up the ranks pretty quickly. So that's why I want to pay attention to it. Let's get ahead and jump into the technical analysis side of things, starting off with Nano. And what we're seeing here is pretty straightforward, right? We're basically back above 131,000 Satoshis, and that's currently where we're kind of hovering at. Now, I just drew in the short-term downtrend line. We'll see if we'll be able to break out of that. If we do, that should be able to push us higher towards 140,000 Satoshis. And once we manage to get back above that resistance level, then we can start, hopefully moving higher more quickly. But for now, I'd expect some consolidation between 130 and 140,000 Satoshis. At worst, though, we're going to drop below 100,000 Satoshis due to the pressure from the downtrend line. And that could push us quite a bit lower. So we do have to, be careful if we drop below 130,000 Satoshis. But let's go over to the Bitcoin chart now. And Bitcoin, slowly but surely coming back up on the RSI. We actually have broken out of the downtrend now on the RSI, so that's a good thing. And as for the MACD, hopefully going to get a crossover soon. Pretty similar for the histogram. Now, as far as the price action is concerned, we have been putting in higher lows, and we can see that we're really creating a bit of a symmetrical triangle here. So we're either going to break towards the upside or downside of this, but at this point, if we break below $7,950, probably going to be moving back towards our major uptrend line over here. But if we manage to break towards the upside of this symmetrical triangle, probably going to start moving back towards $10,000 pretty quickly. With that being said, we have quite a bit of resistance ahead, and it's going to take some time to climb through those levels. Once we get above $10,000, we can probably start moving more quickly from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum now. And Ethereum is out of its downtrend line. That's a good sign. Currently kind of finding support on that. As for the indicators, still need to see those come back up a bit more, right? And it's good that we're out of that downtrend line. That is pretty key. Hopefully now what we're going to see is a slow but steady climb back to $900 and then $1,000. Probably once we get back above $1,000, maybe $1,100, we're pretty much back to where we were previously, right? And I think that is going to happen. You know, Ethereum has been one of the stronger cryptos out there, but it's probably going to take a little bit of time. Within the next month, if things go well, we should probably be back to those levels. And let's take a look at Litecoin. So like I said, Litecoin has been making some pretty big moves behind the scenes, so to say. The price is not necessarily reflecting that, which is an interesting thing to think about, because if it is setting itself up for success in 2018 and in the future, then you could say that now is a good time to get in. Of course, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. But as for the indicators, we got that positive crossover on the histogram. Very good sign there. We've been in a downtrend for quite some time as far as Litecoin is concerned. We just crossed over the orange line on the MACD, and we have this little uptrend going on the RSI. As for the price, we're back above $145, currently holding on top of that. So hopefully we can really start to see Litecoin pretty quickly move back up to $200, maybe $218. That's where its next big resistance is at, because the indicators are well set up here, basically, right? They're triggering bullish signals. So in theory, we should start to see the price really start to pick up here. And let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple. Now, one thing that I do want to mention about what I said for Litecoin is, and that goes for a lot of cryptocurrencies, that we're definitely still in a bit of a transitionary period in the market. We still need to find some strength and stuff like that, so we're not completely in the clear, and don't be surprised if we take another hit. But at least things are consolidating now, which, you know, shows us that we're probably ready to slowly but surely move higher. And what I drew in now was the new longer term, I guess you could say, support level as far as uptrend lines go for Ripple, and really we want to see if we're going to continue to hold above this uptrend line right over here. As long as we do that, we'll slowly but surely be moving higher, and once we get back above $1 is when we can start expecting the price to really start to pick up more. We have broken out, maybe not exactly, it depends how strict you want to be on drawing this downtrend line over here, but we are starting to maybe peak out of the downtrend line on the RSI, and we are flattening out on the MACD and histogram. So probably going to take a little bit more time here, maybe another 2 weeks, but we should start to see those turn bullish and then hopefully move back towards $1. Let's go ahead towards our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be NEO. Now, NEO, like Ethereum, has been one of the stronger cryptocurrencies out there, and actually not doing bad here, back towards $112. So it is facing some resistance with this downtrend line over here, and we could still consolidate in this range here between 100 and the downtrend line. So could bounce a little bit more and consolidate, but I'd say pretty likely, unless the market, you know, flips back over into bearish territory, probably going to break towards the upside of the downtrend line pretty shortly here, maybe within the next week or two, and then we can hopefully start moving higher back towards $120, and then really $140 is the levels that we want to try to be breaking back above. As for the indicators, starting to hook back up on the MACD. We are out of the downtrend line on the RSI, but we still want to see those come back up some more. Let's go ahead and take a look at Vertcoin. Now, I know that a lot of you have asked me to remove Vertcoin, and just because it's not as popular as it once was, it's a pretty small cryptocurrency now. I think I may be removing it and replacing it with just bigger cryptocurrencies, basically like Stellar. So just going to let you know that that could definitely happen in the near future, and is looking more and more likely at this point based on the feedback that you guys are giving me. It seems like a lot of you are kind of bored with Vertcoin. As for the indicators here on Vertcoin, we're still having a bit of an uptrend on the histogram. Looks like we're crossing over right now above the orange line on the MACD, and coming back up slowly on the RSI. So indicators actually looking pretty decent here, triggering some bullish signals, but we haven't gotten that really big bullish boost that we need, especially considering the fact that Bitcoin has been downtrending a lot. We want to see it get a very strong breakout out of this, above this downtrend line, and definitely could happen. That it looks like it's gonna. If it is gonna happen, it should be within the next day or two, basically, because we're at the end of the symmetrical triangle formation, and we're either going to break towards the downside and come back towards $2 basically, or break towards the upside, at which point we could really maybe see if the market allows it to move pretty quickly towards $5. So let's go ahead and take a look now at our next cryptocurrency. That's going to be Monero, and let's see what Monero has been up to. So Monero is making its way back to $257. That is a pretty strong resistance level, so we'll see if we're going to manage to get back above that. Indicators looking pretty good here. MACD and histogram about to turn bullish, and we're out of the downtrend on the RSI. As for the price action, we're uptrending with this pretty steep trend line over here. We'll see if we're able to hold this. If we do, we'll pretty quickly move back up towards probably above $300, right? Within the next 2-3 weeks, I would say. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Omisego. And Omisego, kind of in a similar situation. I'd like to hear your feedback on this one because I'm just not sure that it's as popular as it once was, and I could probably replace it with some bigger cryptocurrencies that are a bit more relevant right now. But we have broken out of the downtrend line with a pretty clean candlestick, so that's a very good sign. We're now holding above that $12 support level, and we're coming back up on the indicators. So probably going to take a little bit of time here, but we should expect it to slowly but surely move back up to $14. Once we get back above that, could start to see it spike towards $18, $20 pretty quickly from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk now, and we're going to see what Lisk has been up to. So like I said, Lisk also has been one of the stronger cryptocurrencies out there, and if you look, it actually didn't really drop that much at all throughout all this drama over the past couple weeks. Looking back at the bigger picture, we've mainly just consolidated right between $18 and $25, and we're currently still in that range here between $20 and $25. So we're testing that downtrend line. Hopefully we can break above that soon, and from there make a move above $25, where we can really come back up pretty quickly here for Lisk. Looks like we're about to cross over on the MACD and back above the uptrend line on the RSI. So I actually like Lisk's setup here, and I'd say could definitely see it spike over the next day or two and really break back above $25, or we're going to lose the uptrend line support, consolidate a little bit more, but either way I think we're moving back above $25 within the next month. And we're going to go over now to our next crypto, which is going to be Cardano. Like I've been saying, Cardano has been moving against most cryptocurrencies. It's not really following anything in particular. It's really doing its own thing, and it's been acting pretty weak, to be honest, is the best way to put it. Indicators all downtrending, all showing no bullish signs. Not necessarily turning more bearish, but just kind of continuing the downtrend is the best way to put it. And we're finding support at 4,000 Satoshis, so very flat candlestick there right now, which could mean that we're either going to start to dip below it pretty quickly, or we're going to get a bounce here. We'll see on the next candlestick. I could definitely see Cardano dipping to $3,000 here, just because if it's not moving higher, then the only place that it can go, if it's just acting weak like this, is probably going to take a hit. And we have a lot of pressure from this downtrend line. Unless we're able to get back above that, the pressure will be towards the downside for Cardano. Finally, we're going to take a look at IOTA, which had some pretty decent news, like I said, some partnerships and stuff like that. Right now, it is pretty low compared to where it was previously, which is pretty massive gain here if it goes back towards the highs from its current prices. But as for the indicators, about to go positive on the histogram, about to get that bullish crossover on the MACD. RSI starting to uptrend a little bit, and we are uptrending in the very short term as far as the price action is concerned. I should go ahead and put in our downtrend line over here. Within the next day, probably we're going to see if we can get back above $2. If we manage to do so, we'll be in much better standing, and that'll probably mean that IOTA is ready to move back up slowly but surely. So we'll definitely be paying attention towards that. So we can see that some of the cryptocurrencies right now are a bit stronger than others, but overall, at least we're holding and not dropping anymore. With that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Make sure to check out my premium content and to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.